Technical difficulties. They'll get you just about every time. And they got us here at pad level. Maybe Wi-Fi, maybe something different. I don't know. But as you see, Griffin and Dalton are not here. We couldn't get it set up where we could get them back going. So we'll finish this one off with just me. So luckily we're almost to the end. We got to get to a lot of it that we wanted to get to. I'll just finish off what we had here just with me. So we were kind of talking about this, what we kind of more of college football playoff predictions. And we talked about the ACC. I think the ACC will get two teams in. Now, what I was mentioning was if there's chaos as far as Miami doesn't get in the playoff game, but they've got one loss, right? Louisville gets in. Say Louisville gets in because they've beaten Miami, and Louisville's also beaten Virginia. So um, could be very interesting. Do they get two? Can they get more than two? Now we move to the Big Ten. Everybody thinks four from the SEC, four from the Big Ten. Now, the top three teams in the Big Ten, I can see them getting in. And then after you go Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, you've got some more one-loss teams, Iowa, Michigan, USC. Do one of those teams get in? Say Iowa is that team. I don't know. I mean, are they able to win out? The USC got Nebraska this weekend. Michigan's got Ohio State. That'll give them the second loss if they don't win that one. Iowa, if they lose another conference game, they've got Oregon next weekend, not this weekend, but next one. So you could have potentially you could have two teams undefeated in the conference and Oregon with one and everybody else two losses or more. Are they going to put a two-loss Iowa in? Now, Michigan, I could see them throwing a two-loss Michigan in there. But here's where I'm getting at. Do you go three Big Ten, five SEC with how everything's so combobulated up at the top? SEC, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, uh, Ole Miss, Vandy. I mean, that's five teams right there who got a good shot. You know, if we go to the SEC, you've got one, two, three, four, one, two. You got four teams with one loss. Even Texas. So this Texas Vanderbilt game this weekend is going to be huge in this picture, right? Because you could possibly be eliminating yourself if you lose that game if you're Vanderbilt or Texas. All right, you've got Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss. I'm pretty much thinking if you get an SEC championship game or the Big Ten championship game, you're getting in the playoff. Doesn't matter if you win or lose it. The at-large spots are the kicker. How are they going to handle that? Three from one, five from the other. They're going to go four for four. If the ACC gets in three, what do you do then? All right, what's the Big 12 do? Uh, so anyway, I don't know how you handle it. Big 12's pretty stuffed at the top too. BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, Texas Tech. BYU, Cincinnati undefeated in the conference. Houston, Texas Tech got one loss in the conference. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, the Big 12, I'm really leaning towards Cincinnati. I know BYU is undefeated overall, and it's hard to bet against them. Cincinnati, I don't know. I mean, BYU, I like them too. So it's going to be very interesting to see. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how it all plays out. Um, and then as far as a group of five, you've got some real uh some different possibilities in the group of five. Obviously, in the American, that's where all the teams are coming from. Navy, Tulane, undefeated in the conference. Navy's undefeated overall. Tulane is 6-1 overall. Tulane lost to Ole Miss. Navy goes to North Texas, who's only lost to South Florida. Uh, the top five teams in the American: Navy, Tulane, Memphis, South Florida, North Texas. All five of those are in contention basically to have that G5 spot. The tough part is for the other conferences, they're just not even in the conversation. In the national conversation that most people are having. Now, I will give you this. Now, you know me, you know who I am. The Owls, what if they went out? What if they're 10-2? Their only losses are to Indiana, who's a playoff team, and Wake Forest, who could end up being a pretty solid ACC team if they can finish the year out pretty well. And they lost by a point to Wake Forest. If they now they got to win out, obviously. I don't know. They could be in the maybe not in the picture. I have no idea. Okay. And Jacksonville State's also undefeated. They're in a dogfight with Middle Tennessee State right now. So, and then the MAC, there's nobody who's really there. Mountain West, you've got Boise State. The first loss was to South Florida. Got drummed pretty bad the first week of the season. And then they lost to Notre Dame. Um, I mean, they've got the two best losses probably out of any group of five team besides South Florida. They lost to, um, they lost to, South Florida lost to Miami. But I now lost to Memphis. So, you know, Boise State and South Florida are comparable as far as resumes. That's kind of your only shot is if Boise State can get there. San Diego State is 6-1 and 3-0 in the conference. But they don't have they're not Boise State. Now they got to beat Boise State if they want to get in that picture. Now the Sun Belt is an interesting one because you got James Madison there who's 7-1. They just won last night pretty big over Texas State. They're 5-0 in the conference, 7-1 overall. Um, that's probably Sun Belt's best chance is if James Madison wins the Sun Belt. But I think it's probably gonna run through the American, whoever wins the American Conference, unless they all beat up on each other. If they all beat up on each other, then who knows? It might be James Madison if they win out there 11-1, 12-1 if they win the Sun Belt. So, you know, it'll be a very, very, very interesting to see and watch how it plays out. Um, it's gonna be real fun. Now, the last little thing we are going to talk about was Heisman. Was kind of the Heisman because we're getting somewhat close. I don't want to say we're close. We're getting somewhat close. Here's some names: Fernando Mendoza, Julian Sayin, Ty Simpson, Marcel Reed, Diego Pavia, Gunnar Stockton, Haynes King, Trinidad Chambliss. All right, then you get into a couple position players: Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver; Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame, running back; Dante Moore, Brendan Sorsby at Cincinnati. Okay, then you kind of get into some more down farther: C.J. Carr, Carson Beck, Jaden Mayava, Miller Moss at Louisville, Justice Haynes, Michigan. So, you know, I think right now the odds go in that order. So the favorite is Mendoza, then it's Say, and then it's Simpson. You know, this is the month where you really figure it out. You know, they're quarterbacks, players who have had good years up to this point. If you can go in November and dominate and take your team to the next level in November going into the postseason, that's what people are going to remember. These voters are going to remember that, the most recent stuff. So this is going to be the time where you can really figure it out. If Diego Pavia has Vanderbilt winning out and he just puts on a show, he may become the favorite. Fernando Mendoza, if they keep dominating everybody, he may win it with Indiana. Ty Simpson, same way. If they dominate all the way out, they play an SEC championship game and dominate, you know, it'll be tough. If both those guys do it, those will be the favorite. Marcel Reed's up there pretty high. He's having a great year. Gunnar Stockton, Haynes King, two Georgia boys, right? Or at least guys who play at Georgia teams. Trinidad, you know, Jeremiah Smith is sneaking in there, first position player. You know, he was at the beginning of the season was somebody who we thought would be there at the top. Um, he's got so much attention on him right now, but that means Carnell Tate has been really going off. So anyway, you know, the Heisman is going to be fun to watch. This is the month that really we're going to figure it out. And the college football playoff, who's going to get in? who's not going to be in. It's going to be fun to watch it play out. And like I said, this month, the first playoff predictions are next Tuesday. The Heisman's really going to be figured out now in this month and in the season. So being able to figure that out kind of all at the same time, this is how it happens every year. But this is the time of year where it's kind of put up or shut up, you know. So it'll be super fun to watch it play out. Um, anyway, listen, adversity hit us tonight. Adversity hit us. But you know what? We just fought right through it. You see me coming back to finish it off. I'm going to somehow find a way to put these two together. The last one with Griffin and Dalton, and this one, tail, butt up behind it. We're going to be just fine. We'll be just fine. We're going to get this out there at some point, and you're going to have some great stuff to watch. So thank you so much for watching. Uh, this was a fun episode. It was a very fun episode. I hate that it kind of got messed up there at the end, but we got a great weekend coming up. Just like every weekend of football, we got a great weekend coming up, and I'm fired up. I'm fired up. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Um, Cincinnati, Utah, the nightcap. They start at 10:15, so no excuse. We're watching all day, baby. We're watching all day. All right. So I'm gonna start my morning off tomorrow with the Squattober Squat Max party. Tomorrow is October 30th, Squat Max Day tomorrow, and then Friday is more of a cool off day. Last day of Squattober on Halloween. Whee! Right? Squattober's coming to an end. It's been a great month of just grinding it out, working the legs, working the quads, the glutes, all of it, the hammies. Been getting after it. Squat max is going up tomorrow. It's going up if my SI joint will cooperate. Listen, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for listening to nonsense and some good stuff. Uh, I love you. We love you. And subscribe, follow, rate. You know, if you helping us will only make this better for you. And that's what we're here for, is to talk with you. So thanks so much. I'll get some comments on Sunday and some people who've reached out, things like that. We'll get some of that on Sunday, and that way we'll cover all our bases. So thank you so much. Have a great day, evening, night, morning, weekend, whenever you're listening. We love you, and let's go watch some ball. God bless. Have a good one.